Hi friends, in this section we are going to see about sorting of two numbers. So in order, first I am including a header file /include IO stream, and again I am including standards, that is using name space std. It's going to the standards which are used in this compiler. These are Dev C++, and now I am declaring a main function to write our logic. As all of you know that every function starts executing from main, but this OOPS approaches the follows the approach of bottom up approach. It is the object oriented languages. So that now I am declaring an int variables which we are needed. So in order, now I am declaring a array size as 10. You can initialize it as your wish, and I am taking a I value v p and j comma temp variables which are needed for my logic. If further any thing is required, I will include them later. Now I am entering a statement that how many elements need to be sorted. So number of elements. Okay, now I will close this by keeping a semicolon and use the cin statement to read these values, and I am give this value as n, and next I will enter this n value by using for loop, so that it can read the number of values which we want into the array. For example, if we declared n value as 5, so that it takes 5 elements by using the for loop. In order to do that, I am using a cout statement, enter the element to sort, means that we are going to enter the elements which are going to be sorted. Now I am declaring a for loop here, so that I am using I which variable and assigning the value of it equal to 1, so that it starts executing from 1. I greater than or equal to n. It means that the number of elements which we required, till that the for loop is going to be repeated continuously, and again I am reading those elements into an array which we have declared above, that is a, and I am continuously changing the I value after initializing the value of I. Now here is the end of the for loop, and now I am going to write another logic for swapping of numbers. For this we required two for loops. One is inner for loop and another one is outer for loop, so that after swapping the numbers, outer for loop, when it comes to an end, again the inner for loop will be executed repeatedly until the condition fails. Okay, now incrementation of p value, now I am going to write the inner for loop which I have talked before, that until the condition of outer loop fails, the program is going to be run, and after that we are going to read these values and print them by using another for loop. So that for inner for loop I will take the value of j and initialize the value as 1, and don't think that always we need to start from 1, as it is to be clear that array starting index value is 0. You can start it by declaring here as 0 also. If you declared here as 0, here you need to keep just greater than, not greater than or equal to. So that as I am declaring here j equal to 1, I will keep greater than or equal to n minus 1. The loop is need to be repeated n minus 1 times, but the outer loop is going to be repeated for n times, so that the sorting will be clear. I will show you what will happen if we keep n, so that the last element which we have given will not be sorted. If you have any doubts, you can trace the logic and see that if you keep n, the last element which you have tried to swap will not be swapped and remains as it is. Okay, I am checking a condition. If this condition is satisfied, I am saying that to swap the number, else you must not swap the number, you must keep it in its position. Okay, as you have seen in my before section, I posted the video of swapping of two numbers. I am writing the logic of swapping of two numbers here. Okay, and j plus 1. Okay, now a of j plus 1 needs a value, and it must be taken from a temp which we have stored the value before, j plus 1, and it is to be taken from the temp, so that I am writing here temp. So the value of temp is now going to be stored in, okay, can you guess? It is going to be stored in a of j plus 1. Okay, the logic of sorting is completed, but now the main point is that we need to print the values. For printing of the values, here I am going to use a for loop. For I equal to 0, you can write I equal to 0 or I equal to 1. I am writing I equal to 1, I greater than or equal to n, I plus plus. Okay, now I am going to print the values. So I am going to print the values which we have sorted in the array, and before we have initialized these values into the array, and we have sorted by using the array. So that now, in order to be clear, I will write here a cout statement. So this cout statement means that the values which we are getting after sorting values. Okay, now as we have declared above int, let me show you. I have declared here there int, so that we need to have a return type. So that now at bottom I am going to declare a return type, return 0. If you use a void main, so that you need not to keep this statement. Okay, let me save this file. I will save it as sort, and it is the called BUBBLE, bubble sort. We can call it as bubble sort. The logic which you have implemented here for sorting is bubble sort. There are many kind of sorting techniques which we don't know. Some of them are merge sort, quick sort, and heap sort. The most efficient algorithm for using sorting is quick sort, and the worst is bubble sort. We are going to discuss this merge sort, quick sort in our previous sections. Now I am going to compile this and show you the output. So here it is throwing an error because I have not declared the value of n and I have declared the value as v. So now I am going to change it as n and I am going to save it, compile it, and now I am getting here another error because I did not close here a semicolon. Each and every statement in the C++ follows a syntax. Even a single semicolon missed, the program will not be compiled. So that we need to follow the syntax rules and we need to learn them very carefully. So I have compiled it. I am not getting an error. In some of the compilers they will not show you the time, but my compiler will show you the time that it has taken 3.78 seconds to compile this logic. And now I am going to run this program. So it is asking for number of elements. For example, I will take 5 elements and now it is asking the elements 10, 20, 60, 1, 90, and now we have declared 5 elements. So I am going to press enter. So you can see that they are being sorted in their reverse order. So we can sort them using by ascending order or descending order. I have followed here an logic of choosing one of them, either ascending order or descending order. So you also can do this. Thank you, friends.